Lionel Messi walked off that pitch in tears, 39 years old, having just lost his second straight World Cup final. Everyone assumed it was over. The commentators called it his last international match. Fans across the world said their goodbyes. They were wrong. Messi isn't retiring from Argentina. Not yet. And the real story of what happens next is more carefully planned, more emotional, and more historic than anyone realized in the moment. Let's start with what actually happened after that final whistle. Argentina lost 1-0 to Spain after extra time, and the cameras caught something that said more than any post-match interview could. 18-year-old Lamine Yamal, Spain's own teenage superstar, walking over to console a tearful Messi, the player who had just helped eliminate him, showing him that kind of respect. Argentina's own federation later put out a message that captured the mood perfectly. Your tears are our tears. For a few hours, it genuinely looked like the end. But according to Argentine journalist Gaston Edul, that final in the summer of 2026 was not going to be Messi's last appearance in an Argentina shirt. Not officially, not yet. So here's what's actually being planned behind the scenes. According to multiple reports out of Argentina, the Argentine Football Association wants Messi to continue playing for the national team for months to come, with some reports suggesting the federation's real hope is for him to continue all the way through the 2028 Copa América. Think about what that actually means. A man who will be 41 years old by the time that tournament arrives, who has already won every trophy the sport has to offer, being asked by his own country to keep going, not because they need him to win anything else, but because nobody in Argentina is ready to say goodbye. And when that goodbye does come, it isn't going to be quiet. The plan being discussed is a dedicated farewell match played on home soil in Argentina, specifically so that supporters who have followed his entire international career can be part of it, not a farewell tucked into a routine qualifier. A genuine occasion, announced well in advance, built entirely around one man's international career ending on his own country's terms. And it goes further than a match. Claudio Tapia, president of the Argentine Football Association, has already stated publicly that once Messi does retire from international football, the number 10 shirt, the number worn by Diego Maradona before him, will be retired for life. His exact words were that no one will be allowed to wear that number for Argentina ever again. In a country obsessed with the Maradona versus Messi debate for 2 decades, that's not just a tribute. That's the Federation making its final statement on where Messi stands in Argentine football history. Now here's what makes this genuinely remarkable rather than just sentimental. Messi is 39 years old, and he played every single one of the 120-plus minutes of that World Cup final. Not a cameo, not a late substitute appearance to soak up applause. A full, physically brutal final at an age when most professional footballers have been retired for the better part of a decade. This isn't a farewell tour for a player being kept around out of sentiment while his body gives up. This is a team and a federation still building its attacking plans around a man in his 40th year, because the alternative, genuinely competing for major trophies without him, remains an open and uncomfortable question for Argentine football. And that question matters more than people realize. This was Argentina's second consecutive World Cup final. Back-to-back finals is something only a handful of nations have ever managed. But strip away the analysis of Messi's individual numbers this tournament, and there's a harder truth underneath. Argentina's path to both of those finals has leaned heavily, at times almost entirely, on one player bending the rules of the sport in his own favor. So the honest question Argentine football now has to sit with is this: what happens in 2028 or in 2030? When there genuinely is no Messi wearing the number 10, retired forever, exactly as promised? Is this current generation, the Alvarezes, the Fernandezes, the McAllisters, actually good enough to compete for a World Cup on their own merits? Or does Argentina's period as a genuine superpower end the same day Messi's international career finally does? There's no official retirement date yet, no confirmed farewell match, no statement locking in the 2028 Copa America as his final tournament. As of right now, this is still genuinely open. Reports, plans, and strong hints from people close to the Federation, but nothing signed, sealed, and announced. What we do know is this. The moment didn't arrive after that World Cup final in Atlanta, painful as the ending was. Messi chose, or was persuaded, to keep going. And Argentina is now planning something that very few athletes in any sport ever get. A farewell built entirely around them, on their own terms, in their own country, with their number permanently taken out of circulation the moment they walk away. So here's the real story behind the headlines. It's not that Messi lost a World Cup final at 39. It's that even in defeat, even in tears, even with an 18-year-old rival consoling him on the pitch, his own country still isn't ready to let him go, and he isn't ready to leave. How much longer do you think Messi should keep playing for Argentina? And do you think this current Argentina squad can win a World Cup without him? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And subscribe. We'll be tracking every update on Messi's international future as it happens.